Now in this section I am going to discuss about the corrosion prone areas. Discussed briefly in the section are most of the trouble areas common to all aircraft. However, this coverage is not necessarily complete and may be amplified and expanded to cover the special characteristic of the particular aircraft model involved by referring to the applicable maintenance manual. Modern airplanes are made of thin, reactive metals which can tolerate very little loss of strength. One of the most important functions of the A&P technicians on an annual or 100-hour inspection is to check the entire aircraft for indication of corrosion, which could degrade the strength of the structure. Almost all parts of an airplane are subject to this type of damage, but certain areas are most prone than others. Number one is engine exhaust area or engine trail areas. Both reciprocating and turbine engine generate their power by converting chemical energy from a hydrocarbon fuel into heat energy because of the inefficiency of the engine. Much of this heat along with energy-rich gases passes out of the engine through the exhaust. The gases contain all of the constituents for a potent electrolyte, and because of the elevated temperature, corrosion can form all the more rapidly. Exhaust area must be carefully inspected and all exhaust residue removed before corrosion has a chance to start. Cracks and seams in the exhaust track are prime areas for corrosion. Fairings on the nacelles, hinges and inspection door fasteners all contain crevices which invite the formation of corrosion. In this respect, some few lines may be some common, may be some different. Let's take it from the another text. Both jet and reciprocating engine exhaust deposits are very corrosive, as we have read, and give particular trouble where gaps, seams, hinges and fairings are located down the exhaust path and where deposits may be trapped in and not reached by normal cleaning methods. Special attention should be paid to areas around rivet sides and the skin crevices. Fairing and SS plates in the exhaust area should be removed for inspections. Exhaust deposits will build up in remote areas such as the impenetrable surfaces should not be overlooked, because overlooked build-up in the areas will be slower and sometimes completely absent, but it has become a problem on some currently operating aircraft. Now number 2 is battery compartments and vents. Batteries store electrical energy by converting it to chemical energy and are therefore active chemical plants, complete with environmental polluting exhaust. Airplanes having lead acid batteries must have their boxes protected by a material that resists corrosion from the sulfuric acid fumes, and airplanes with nickel cadmium batteries must have their battery areas protected with an alkaline resistant finish. These finishes may have a bitumastic (tar) base, a rubber base, or even better, maybe polyurethane finishes. During an inspection, these areas must be carefully checked, especially under the battery, and all traces of corrosion must be removed and the area refinished. Both types of batteries should have some vent jar containing an absorbent pad moist with a neutralizing agent, bicarbonate of soda for a lead acid battery or boric acid for a nickel cadmium battery. These some vent jars should be checked to see that the pads are moist and that there is no leakage. All of the vent openings should be clear and the intake and exhaust lines free are open. If battery electrolyte is spilled during servicing, it must be cleaned up immediately and the area neutralized. Flush with water and neutralize with bicarbonate of soda or lead acid batteries, or with boric acid or vinegar for nickel cadmium installations. The thoroughness of the neutralization can be checked with litmus paper. Blot the water on the surface with a piece of the indicator paper. If the area is acidic, the paper will turn pink. If it is alkaline, it will turn blue. The entire area should be neutral and it should not change the color of the paper. All three laboratories and food service areas. Organic materials such as food and human waste are highly corrosive to aluminum surfaces, and where this type of material can be spilled, the areas must be inspected with extreme care. Food service areas may be troublesome if there is a possibility of some of the debris from food getting into cracks under or behind the galley, where it cannot be removed. While this material is in itself may not be corrosive, it can hold water which will cause the structure to corrode. The laboratory area is an especially important area to check for corrosion. Human wastes are usually acidic and promote corrosion. Why hurry if allowed to remain on the skin of the airplane or to get into cracks or seams into the structure. Disinfectants may be used that will cause further damage to the aircraft. Be sure to check the disinfectant carried in the airplane to be sure that it is not a type that is harmful to aluminum. The area around and behind the discharge of relief tubes must be inspected carefully for indication of corrosion. These areas should be painted with an acid-proof paint where the discharge contacts the airplane's scale. Number 4 is wheel well and landing gear. Probably no one area of an airplane is subjected to as much hard service as the wheel well area. On takeoff and landing, debris from the runway surface may be thrown up into this area. This can be especially troublesome in the winter when chemicals are used on runways for ice control. Abrasion may remove the protective lubricants and coatings, and water and mud can freeze and cause damage. Corrosion can take place in any of the electrical components, such as anti-skid sensors, squat switches, and limit switches. Bolt heads and nuts on magnesium wheels are susceptible to galvanic corrosion, and concentration cell corrosion can form under the marking tape of ferrules on aluminum tubing. Special care must be taken to search out any area where water can be entrapped. Because of many complicated shapes, assembly and fittings found in the wheel well and landing gear areas, complete area paint film coverage is difficult to attain. A partially applied preservative tends to mask corrosion rather than prevent it. Due to heat generated by braking action, preservatives cannot be used on some main landing gear wheels. During inspection of this area, pay particular attention to the following trouble spots. For this, I will be giving you the figure. Number 1, magnesium wheels, especially around bolt heads, lugs, and wheel web areas, particularly for the presence of entrapped water for its effects. Number 2, exposed rigid tubing, especially at B-nuts and ferrules, under clamps and tubing identification tapes. Number 3, exposed position indicator, switches, and other electrical equipment. Number 4, crevices between stiffeners, ribs, and lower skin surfaces, which are typical water and debris traps. And now next is fifth one is an external skin areas, in which number A is seams and lap joints. One of the first places corrosion appears on the surface of an aircraft is along the seams and lap joints. It is here that concentration cell corrosion frequently appears, and in clad skin it is here that the seared edges of alkylate sheet expose the alloy without the protection of the pure aluminum. There is also a danger of water or cleaning solvents becoming entrapped in the lap joint and providing an effective electrolyte. Corrosion may start in a spot welded seam if the spot welding process is left an enlarged grain structure in the metal. The area is then susceptible to corrosion when moisture seeps between the skins. Check carefully for bulging along the spot welds. Hold a straight edge along the row of spot, and if there is corrosion in the seam, the surface will bulge between the spots and show up as a wavy skin. Corrosion in the seam can progress to such a degree that the spots will actually pull apart. Relatively little corrosion trouble is experienced with magnesium skins if the original surface finish and insulations are adequately maintained. Trimming, drilling, or riveting destroy some of the original surface treatment, which is never completely restored by touch-up procedures. Any inspection for corrosion should include all magnesium skin surfaces with special attention to edges, areas around fasteners are and cracked, chipped, or missing paint. Number B, engine inlet areas. One of the most vital parts of an airplane is the area directly in front of the engine where the air is taken in jet aircraft. This area is usually quite large, and air rushes into the engine at a high velocity. Abrasion by the high velocity air and by contaminants carried in the air will tend to remove any protective coating. Abrasion strips along the leading edge or of intake ducts help protect these areas, but careful inspection and maintenance of the finish in these inlet areas is imperative. In this more, these areas are being contained constantly. Engine fuel, frontal area, and cooling air vents. These areas are being constantly abraded with airborne dirt and dust, beads of gravel from runways, and rain erosion which tend to remove the protective finish. Inspection of these areas should include all sections in the cooling air path with special attention to places where salt deposits may be built up during marine operations. It is imperative that incipient corrosion be inhibited and that paint touch-up and hard film preservative coating be maintained intact on seaplane and amphibian engine surfaces at all times. In more about in external skin area, external aircraft structure are readily visible and accessible for inspection and maintenance. Even here, certain types of configurations or combination of materials become troublesome under certain operating conditions and require special attention. Relatively little corrosion trouble is experienced with magnesium skins if the original surface finish and insulation are adequate maintained. Trimming, drilling and riveting destroy some of the original surface treatment, which is never completely restored. By touch-up procedures, any inspection for corrosion should include all magnesium skin surfaces with special attention to edges, areas around fasteners and cracked, chipped or missing paint. Piano type hinges are prime spots for corrosion due to the dissimilar metal contact between the steel pin and aluminum hinge. They are also natural traps for dirt, salt and moisture. Inspection of hinges should include lubrication and actuation through several cycles to ensure complete lubrication penetration. We will go for this more for the piano type hinges. Now, corrosion of metal skin joined by spot welding is the result of the entrance and entrapment of corrosive agent within the layers of metal. This type of corrosion is evidenced by corrosion products appearing at the crevices through which the corrosive agents enter. More advanced corrosive attack causes skin buckling and eventual spot weld fracture. Skin buckling is in its early stages may be detected by sighting along spot welded seams or by using a straight edge. The only technique for preventing this condition is to keep potential moisture entry points including seams and holes created by broken spots weld filled with a sealant or a suitable preservative compound. Is also wing flap and spoiler recesses. Dirt and water may collect in flap and spoiler recesses and go unnoticed because they are normally retracted. For this reason, these recesses are potential control problem areas. Number 7 is inaccessible areas, in which a fuel tank there is probably no single place in an aircraft that is less accessible for inspection and repair than the inside of an integral fuel tank. Yet, especially in jet aircraft, the fuel tanks are highly susceptible to corrosion formation. As we have discussed in the section Anorganic Growth as a cause of corrosion, we have seen that turbine fuel can hold microscopic organisms in suspension until they have an opportunity to join together and grow into the water holding scum, which attaches to the aluminum alloy skin. Sealants used to convert the structure of a being into a fuel tank and impervious to fuel but only resistant to water, and it is possible for water to seep through the sealer and cause oxygen concentration cell corrosion. Corrosion under the sealant is extremely difficult to detect and must usually be found with X-ray or ultrasonic inspection from the outside of the wing. Now in this B, piano hinges. Piano hinges on control surfaces and access doors are ideal locations for the start and development of corrosion. The hinge today is usually made of aluminum alloy, while the pin is of hard carbon steel. Coupled with the fact that these are dissimilar metals, it is almost impossible to keep the cracks and crevices free from moisture. Dirt and dust accumulate and hold moisture between the pin and the hinge body, allowing corrosion to develop. The pin may rust and freeze in the hinge, even breaking off and becoming impossible to remove. Piano hinges should be kept as clean and dry as possible and should be lubricated with a spray which displaces water and leaves an extremely thin film of lubricant, one that will not gum or attract dust. These water displacing lubricants are manufactured to meet MIL-C-16713 specifications. Now number C, control surface recesses. any before. So in control surface recesses, any place of an airplane which is difficult to inspect in areas where corrosion has an opportunity to grow. Some airplanes have area in the wing or impellers when the movable surface recesses back into the fixed surface. Hinges are buried back in these cavities and difficult to lubricate. Special attention must be paid when inspecting these areas to remove every trace of corrosion and provide drains for any water that might collect. A thin film of the same water displacing lubricant as is used for on piano hinges may be used to protect the skin lap joints in these areas. This number D is bulge areas. The bottom of the fuselage below the floor is an area where water and wild forms of liquid and solid debris can accumulate and cause corrosion to form. These areas are ideal for the formation of corrosion because they provide the dissimilar metals and the constant exposure to an electrolyte. Because of their inaccessibility, corrosion can often go undetected until it has caused major damage. Airplanes having area prone to accumulate water have drain holes provided, but since dirt and other debris also collect here, these holes may become clogged and not do their job. On every inspection, be sure all drain holes are clear and inspect carefully an area where the water might possibly stand. Air powdered vacuum cleaners may be used to remove dirt or water collected in this area, and a water displacing liquid spray will form a thin film on the surface of the metal to prevent further contact with the electrolyte. Number E is landing gear boxes. There are few areas in a model fixed landing gear airplane that are highly stressed yet as difficult to inspect. As the landing gear box structure, the landing gear attachments into the fuselage by a strong, heavy gauge aluminum alloy box structure which is under the floor and is accessible for inspection only through a relatively small access hole. Water can collect in this area if the drain holes should become plugged. Inspection of these boxes should be thorough, all drains opened and the entire enclosed area generously sprayed with a water displacing lubricant film. Number 8 is an engine mount structures. The heavy current from the starter must return to the battery through the engine mount. This current flowing through joints in the aluminum alloy mount will create the potential difference required for corrosion and cause it to form in these areas. Welded steel tubes mounts are protected from internal corrosion by filling each section of the tubing with hot linseed oil or other type of tubing oil. As much of the oil as possible is drained out and the drain hole is plugged with a drive screw or a self-tapping metal screw. Number 9. Control cables. The cables used in an aircraft control system may be made of either carbon steel or corrosion resistant steel. If carbon steel cables is left unprotected and water is allowed to enter, it will soon corrode and the corrosion that forms on the inside of the cable is difficult to detect. If corrosion is suspected, release the tension from the cable and open the strands by twisting them against the lay. This allows you to see between the strands. Cable with any indication of corrosion should be replaced. Corrosion may be prevented by spraying the cable with a water displacing type of lubricant, or if it is used in a seaplane or exposed to agricultural chemicals, it should be coated with a with a waxy grease such as par al ketone. Now number 10, welded areas. Welded areas, aluminum torch welding require the use of a flux to exclude oxygen from the bed. This flux may contain lithium chloride, potassium chloride, potassium bisulfide or potassium fluoride. These are extremely corrosive to aluminum and all traces of the flux must be removed after the welding is completed. Welding flux is soluble in water and may be removed with a hot water and a non-metallic bristle brush. Aluminum welded by the HALIAR process does not use flux. The welding area is shielded by a flow of argon gas to exclude contaminant. Weld decay is another form of intergranular corrosion. It occurs because the process of welding often produces an undesirable heat treatment adjacent to the welded area, in turn producing separate faces of the metal, one of which may be preferentially attacked under adverse environmental conditions. Now number 11, electronic equipment. The use of copper, lead, tin and other metals in electronic wiring and printed circuits boards makes them a target for corrosion. The fact that electrons are continuously flowing in these conductors and the extremely low volt tolerance for corrosion makes corrosion control in these areas vital. This control is usually accomplished by sealing the wiring and circuit boards with a transparent film which excludes all oxygen and moisture from the surface. Detection and repair of corrosion in these areas is a highly specialized field and is not usually the job of an A&P technician. Last, the number 12, miscellaneous trouble areas. Helicopter rotor heads and gearboxes, in addition to being constantly exposed to the elements, contain bare steel surface, many external working parts and dissimilar metal contacts. These areas should be inspected frequently for evidence of corrosion. The proper maintenance, lubrication and the use of preservative coatings can prevent corrosion in these areas. All control cables, whether plain carbon steel or corrosion resistant steel, should be inspected to determine their condition at each inspection period. Cables should be inspected for corrosion by random cleaning of short section with a solvent-soaked cloth. If external corrosion is evident, tension should be relieved and the cable checked for internal corrosion. Cables with internal corrosion should be replaced. Light external corrosion should be removed with a steel wire brush. When the corrosion products have been removed, recoat the cable with preservative.